So the last one I want to show you is subsurface scattering and layered shader, and then we can really move into the most interesting part of this class, which is basically doing some nice render. Let's start with the alien again. Somehow I really like it, and because he's naked. Okay, enough. Let's assign a new shader. This time we will assign a new material. We will we need to select something, obviously. Lighting, shading, assign new material. We'll grab a shader. We will grab redshift. Let's go with redshift skin for now. Then we create a light, redshift dome light, and we will grab an IBL. So let's grab actually the, oh yes, that's one. It's another one from Christian Block, and it's all. Let's see what is that looking like. Like nothing. Why? Oh, because we are rendering in Arnold, obviously, by default. Every time we start a new Maya. Let's go in IPR. Taking some time to load the geometry, and we should be, yes, we are seeing something. So what shader do we have on that little dude? Oh yes, we assigned the redshift skin material. As I mentioned before, you will not see the effect of subsurface scattering in the IPR, which do not stop me at least to give him the best color, right? I'm going to the green, more green, and more green. So it will be the ID for my alien. Then I want to make sure that I'm using GGX. I want to make sure that I have some reflection going on, not really glossy. Then maybe some blue, and let's see, somehow my reflection are not really taking off here. Now it's nicer. And my secondary reflection will be also blue, darker, and those one will be super glossy, or less. Yeah, let's keep them here, and maybe brighter too. Okay, that will be my reflection for now. Actually, no, I prefer that down, and I prefer those ones down a little bit. That will be for now. Let's do a proper render. Here I'm clicking on that one to make sure that we render only what is in this little window, and I realize my reflection are still annoying me. That's why glossiness will be here. Put them at 32 for the sample, and primary reflection will be more glossy. Okay, now I will start to look into the radius of here. I will say 0.6, 0.8, and let's say 1, and see what happens. Actually, not much will really happen. It's too strong, just way too strong. 0.5, 0.4, 0.2. Let's move with those values for now. Yeah, better. It's kind of boring, but for now it will do the trick. Let's give him a darker color here, and let's create a new light. That will be fun. Let's do a physical light. Let's look through the different view and move the light into his head. And now we'll make sure that the light is not a rectangle but a sphere. Keep in mind the light could be a mesh. In the case of a mesh, I could almost build a skeleton inside the alien and make it luminous. But for now, we will just use a sphere. We'll leave it at there and see what do we get. Way too strong, but you can see the effect of the subsurface scattering on the skin. Let's move it on the back of his head. Is it good? I think it is. Let's see, IPR, and let's change the color to orange. Yes, it is. Color to orange. So, okay, we're a little bit more. Need to be on the. We're inside and forward. Left. Too much. Let's make it smaller. Good. So, interesting thing is now that if I do a render, we do not see much of what's happening with the light. Not a problem, not a problem. Let's go here and look again at Alien. What I want to do now is make sure that my scatter amount is higher, my thickness is 1, and we will see what's going on. Exactly. As you can see, my alien is super glowy, way too strong. That's why we will take everything lower to maybe 0.1 and maybe a thickness of let's see, 5. Still way too strong. Thickness of 0.5. And my scatter amount is obviously higher, and my transmittance will be lower. Go to 10. All the number that I'm playing with right now are in relation to the scale of your model. It's very important to keep that in mind. But as you can see, we get the subsurface scattering effect and the light inside. Here we want to make 128, which will allow us to have a lot less of those splotchiness area. It's better. Scatter amount, let's say 20. We should be slowly getting something better. Too strong. My light is also too strong. Let's go back to 10 and make sure that the light is not as strong. Window outliner, and let's look at the light, and the light will be 10 for now. We should be getting better result. Probably nothing anymore. Yes, we get it there. It's nice. So we will turn on GI. Again, this time we will go with brute force and brute force, and 64. And here I want to grab the value and output. Remember, that's where I make sure that I have less noise for anti-aliasing. Let's say 64 to 56, and adaptive threshold, I leave it there, and we will see what the render tells us. Since I was using brute force and brute force for my 2 passes, you realize I'm not doing a pre-calculation, meaning I'm gaining some time. And yep, it is working. So that was for subsurface scattering. How about now we look into making that assign new material, and we will do a shader. We will do a redshift material again. We will give him silver maybe. We will do an IPR. Oh, sorry. We'll do an IPR and see what we get. It's calculating, and we are in business. We need to move the camera closer. We need to make a nice window here. Okay, that's good. Now we will be looking at layer or blend material. Layer, I wanted to say layer shader, but it's actually blend material.